Father's Day, a day for celebration, for gratitude, for shared memories between fathers and sons. Yet for Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, this day is likely to be marked by a different sentiment, a profound sense of loss. Harry's relationship with his father, King Charles III, has been fractured, leaving a chasm of hurt and resentment. Harry's explosive memoir, Spare, and his candid interviews with media figures like Oprah Winfrey paint a picture of a relationship strained by years of unspoken truths and unaddressed wounds. This video delves into the reasons why Harry might choose not to celebrate Father's Day this year. It examines the painful experiences, as detailed by Harry himself, that have led to this estrangement. From allegations of Charles's emotional aloofness to the devastating impact of relentless media scrutiny, the video explores the complexities of their relationship and the events that have driven a wedge between father and son. Ultimately, it asks the reader to step into Harry's shoes and consider whether reconciliation is possible, or if the wounds run too deep to heal. Harry and Meghan felt abandoned during the relentless negative media attention. The British tabloid press targeted them with a barrage of negative articles, often laced with racist undertones. Harry, scarred by the loss of his mother, Princess Diana, felt a sense of déjà vu. He feared Meghan faced the same scrutiny and harassment that plagued Diana. Harry craved his father's public support. Charles's silence felt like a betrayal, reinforcing the belief he prioritized the monarchy over family. The seeds of Harry's disconnection with his father were sown much earlier, during his childhood. Charles's parenting style was emotionally reserved and often physically absent. Harry's craving for his father's love was met with a perfunctory pat or hurried conversation. In his book Spare, Harry said Charles wasn't ready for parenthood and struggled to deal with raising his two boys after Diana died. He'd always given an air of being not quite ready for parenthood. The responsibilities, the patience, the time. Even he, though a proud man, would have admitted as much. But single parenthood? Pa was never made for that, Harry shared. Charles did not express affection through physical touch. This was notable after Diana's death. Harry, just 12, was told the devastating news by his father. Charles's awkward attempts at comfort lacked a warm embrace or shared tears. This moment epitomized the emotional distance Harry felt from his father. Central to Harry's narrative is a deep-seated longing for his father's love, a yearning for recognition that seemed perpetually out of reach. Charles did not recognize his son's achievements because he was too focused on William the heir. From Harry's military service to his charitable endeavors, Charles never celebrated him. Harry recounts instances where he desperately sought his father's acknowledgement, only to be met with silence or deflected compliments. This lack of open praise created a sense of otherness and spareness in Harry, a belief that he could never quite measure up to his father's expectations. This dynamic, according to Harry, extended beyond his personal life. He felt that Charles often prioritized the work of the monarchy over their personal relationship. Royal engagements, public appearances, and the demands of duty always seemed to take precedence. Harry interpreted this as a sign that his father valued his role as Prince of Wales more than his role as a father. This constant feeling of playing second fiddle to the institution fueled resentment and a growing sense of disconnect between them. The relentless scrutiny of the British tabloid press played a significant role in exacerbating the rift between Harry and Charles. The media frenzy surrounding Harry and Meghan's relationship, their wedding and the birth of their children, was overwhelming. Every aspect of their lives was dissected, analyzed, and often sensationalized. The constant negative attention took a toll on their mental health and put immense strain on their relationship. Harry felt that Charles, having experienced the dark side of media attention himself, should have been more understanding and supportive. He expected his father to use his influence to shield them from the worst of the tabloid attacks, or at least to offer unwavering public support. However, Charles's relationship with the media was complex. He relied on the press to promote his work and causes, and he was often reluctant to openly criticize their tactics, even when they became intrusive and hurtful. This created a sense of frustration and resentment in Harry, who felt that his father was more concerned with protecting the image of the monarchy than the well-being of his own son and daughter-in-law. The relationship between the royal family and the media has always been a delicate dance, balancing public image and private lives. Charles, under public scrutiny his entire life, understood this dynamic well. He witnessed the devastating consequences of negative press, especially with Princess Diana. Yet he recognized the media's power to shape public opinion and promote the monarchy. This created a dilemma for Charles in protecting Harry and Meghan. He was torn between shielding them and maintaining media relations. For Harry, this cautious approach felt like a betrayal. He saw his father's silence as approval of the media's behavior, fueling his resentment. Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from their roles as senior royals in 2020 sent shockwaves through the world. Their departure, dubbed Megxit by the press, was a pivotal moment in their relationship with the royal family, particularly with Charles. The decision to forge their own path, free from the constraints of royal life, was driven by a desire to protect their mental health and to create a more independent future for their children. However, King Charles once more again failed Harry in a great way. King Charles cut Harry off after he moved to California with Meghan and Archie. In his book Spare, he said, "Pa wasn't merely my father, he was my boss, my banker, my comptroller, keeper of the purse strings throughout my adult life. Cutting me off, therefore, meant firing me, without redundancy PA, and casting me into the void after a lifetime of service. More after a lifetime of rendering me otherwise unemployable." After 30-plus years of service towards the monarchy, Harry deserved a redundancy pay. But King Charles, out of spite, refused to give Harry what he deserved. And when you remember that he was not just Harry's employer but his blood father, you wonder how he could do such a thing to his own son. King Charles should be ashamed. In the aftermath of Megxit, the relationship between Harry and Charles reached its lowest point. Communication between them became strained, and public appearances together were rare and often filled with palpable tension. Harry's explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021, in which he and Meghan detailed the reasons behind their departure and made allegations of racism within the royal family, further widened the gulf between father and son. Charles did not want to face these truths about the royal family, particularly the suggestion that an unnamed member of the royal family had expressed concerns about the skin color of their then unborn son, Archie. He chose to remain in denial rather than continue with the important conversations Harry had begun. King Charles used the interview as an excuse to create a rift between him and Harry. Harry's memoir and interviews paint a picture of a son deeply wounded by his father's perceived shortcomings, a son yearning for a level of emotional intimacy and support that he feels he never received. For a reconciliation to happen, it will require empathy, forgiveness, and a willingness to confront painful truths by King Charles. Ultimately, the decision of whether to celebrate Father's Day rests with Harry. Would you celebrate a father who seemingly failed to protect you and your family? A father like King Charles? I know I wouldn't. Thank you for watching.